A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's channel. It is 2022. How I'm glad to have you on this year during this political conversation, a year that's going to set the agenda, make history for this country for years and years to come. I'm joined by Herman Manyora for this conversation on politics. Sir, how are you doing? It is the second day of January 2022.
We are happy that we are alive into this new year. Yes.
Glad to be with you and glad for everybody that has been subscribing. What's your message to our subscribers today?
Thank you. This 2022, let's continue working together. If you know of a person who hasn't subscribed, tell them to subscribe. We want to work together. We want to have a conversation. We want to make sure we talk about our country. Yes, and not talk about it at each other. Have our conversations among ourselves.
Jeff Koinange says when we stop talking, we start fighting.
Yes,
so
yes,
let's continue.
Yes,
let's continue talking.
This is an important year.
Election.
I agree with you that many things will be decided this year. And the things we decide this year will shape the destiny of this country for years to come.
Well, what are your expectations politically when you look at August 9th coming and so many people are tense about the elections, two-horse race, Raila, Ruto, maybe others will come in as days progress. What are your expectations on the political scene?
Well, first of all, what I pray for, that I pray for peace. Many people may not understand the importance of peace because without peace, anything else, there's nothing. So peace number one, peace number two, peace number three, then all these other human activities can come later, including who becomes president. So that's why sometimes I feel very, very pained when I see people rubbishing the handshake, all because they want to be in leadership position this year. I think we cannot underestimate the value of peace. So what I hope for and pray for is peace.
When you speak about the handshake, you remind me of something you usually say. You wish that elections 2022 would be a guided democracy. Would you expect something of that sort when you look at the elections that will become 2022, or it's so far-fetched to happen?
I think it's not a question of what I wish or whether anybody likes it or not. I think 2022 will be a year of guided democracy. Yes. You can call it boardroom democracy if you wish.
Ruto will speak to Raila?
He may not, but I will not be surprised. I have already done made an appeal to Ruto and Raila and Uhuru. There's room enough for all of us in this country. 2022 should be a time the three of them sit together and other players like Mudavadi and Kalonzo and the rest and agree to support one.
Would Ruto's supporters...
Negotiated democracy sometimes works, and it has worked in many parts of the world.
Ruto has quite a number of supporters. Do you think they would agree if someone they would want to become president goes ahead and negotiates on whom would become president, or even Raila supporters?
They won't be the first people to do it in history. People have always done that. Yeah. Sometimes you disappoint your followers. I don't like this thing in this country of people telling us, I'm following the people. Why are you a leader? A leader is paid to make tough decisions, like Bush said. Tough decisions.
Even though the people don't want you to do something?
You lead the people, you give directions, you give guidance. You cannot turn around and say, I'm listening to the people, they are the ones telling me to go to this party. No, it's you to tell them, look here, I know you want me to be president. And indeed, I should be president. And I'm qualified. But in the interest of stability of this country, in the interest of 1, 2, 3, I'll support Ruto. I shelve my ambition.
Not because you want, because this is what I know is the right thing.
I'll support Raila because of 1, 2, 3.
Azimio
Kenya is not ending tomorrow because Raila is becoming president. I'll still be there. I'm William Ruto. I'm young enough to come after Raila or after Mudavadi. You know, that is what leadership is to me.
I'm asking, is Azimio la Umoja the step towards the guided democracy where leaders come together and agree this is the person who wants to become a president? Do you think this is the step that you're waiting to see someone like Mudavadi or Moses Wetangula going towards Azimio la Umoja and agreeing on one person?
I think that's where this country is going. Azimio la Umoja is the thing. It will bring together the forces in this country and they will take power. So I choose to see other players as not understanding the situation. If you understand the situation well enough, you must know the Kenya of tomorrow will be decided through Azimio. So if you don't have the force to go against Azimio, be with Azimio.
But do you think it has the potential to beat the Hustler Nation? The Hustler Nation is like an anthem right now. So many people are singing it.
You see, when you have the whole country moving together under Azimio, it does not matter what kind of song you have sung before. It does not matter the kind of narratives you have floated around. With the time, you'll be swept off their feet.
So
this is a river, like Raila would say, River Nile flowing onto the Mediterranean Sea.
Why don't you see the Hustler narrative going up to August 9th, sticking to its current position?
Simply because it is self-defeating. You cannot say I'm going to be alone fighting against everybody else and think you can succeed. You rarely would succeed. This country is played, the politics of this country is played through tribe, through region, through regional leadership. And I'm not yet convinced Kenya has moved out of that kind of arrangement. So if you think you'll tell people to come and join you in a national party and forget about their small parties or agree to be in competition with you, he has stepped down a bit. And now it's a question of Kuria can join him so long as he doesn't stop UDA from competing against him in Gatundu South or wherever it is. And then these other people are saying, look, we have our individual identities as parties, as regions, as groups of persons, as cultural groups. Let's carry our identity. Remain with our identity, but work within the Azimio umbrella. You can't beat that kind of thing. It's not easy.
Well, what should Ruto do, or should he just give in and agree that you cannot have the coalitions and still have nominations that nominate people to other parties that are going to buy different places? Can he still have the cake and, as you put it, and eat it too?
It will be very difficult. And time is fast catching up. You know, it's getting too late for him. He will need to make a very major announcement. Like, for example, if I were Ruto and I realize that my approach is wrong, it's not working, I will call a serious meeting to make a decision in courts. And I will be forced in courts to admit coalition.
Oh.
You know this, things work like that in this world.
I have been forced.
I've been forced. Well, if you have said, I don't think, okay, fine, now, going forward, we shall admit, but on these conditions, you pretend to be giving conditions. And then you form a coalition. You cannot work alone and fight the coalition as Azimio. You will fail.
Okay.
It's not possible. It's simply not possible. The strategy employed by Uhuru and Raila is too powerful for Ruto.
And he has to give in.
Yeah, because at the very best, he will share Mount Kenya with the small parties. At the very best.
Oh.
At the very best.
When it comes to the representations.
Yes, and I've said in my New Year video, I said, yesterday, I said, look here. Even governors who will be elected on UDA will be impeached in the first year.
Oh.
Yes. We wait and see. Because first, there are going to be too many independent MCS in our counties. Independent in terms of them being independent as having been elected as independent. But also independent in terms of having been elected on small parties that have 2 or 3 MPs, 5 or 6 MCS. You get it?
Yeah.
That's so. The number of independents in our county assemblies and the national parliament will be a thing to fear if you are in power.
Could this be Ruto's biggest fear? Because
yes, so
he doesn't
what will happen, and I hope Kenyans just put this thing down.
Yeah.
Most governors who will be elected against Raila Uhuru in Mount Kenya will be impeached in the first year.
Oh.
All of them. One after the other. We'll begin with Waiguru. If she's elected. I know Mother Kabiro will beat her. But supposing Mother Karua is elevated to some position, she doesn't run. Or even runs and then then likely happens that she's beaten by Waiguru. Her governorship will not last a year.
Oh.
That's a fact of politics. And me, I see these things from far. And they happen. Some people say Manyora predicts wrong. But they choose not to see things properly. I'm telling you, you celebrate that you are UDA. And you win and become a governor from Mount Kenya. Let's wait to see how long you survive.
Could it be the same thing for Raila's side too? Him struggling as a president if he wins with all these independent parties?
That will be a nightmare for them. Anybody who wins. That is a living nightmare, walking nightmare. Parliament will be a nightmare to the president.
Would you say
because there will be so many independent in the two senses of the word independent.
Oh.
Yeah, people coming there, they are just the only MP, or they are just two in parliament, and they are going to be the majority. No party is going to have the majority. And that's what Raila is trying to do through Azimio. They will give him the numbers to appoint a prime minister. Because they are going to appoint a prime minister. They don't be cheated by anybody.
Oh.
BBI will go through in the first 6 months of Raila's presidency, if he becomes president. And then they will appoint a prime minister. So those MPs will assist them in appointing the prime minister. But I'm telling you, they will be given hard time.
You know, talk right now is Musalia Ruto ticket. Ruto was seen, I think, on 31st. He was at Mumias, Kakamega,
yes.
on Malala's football tournament. You usually say that Musalia cannot deputize Ruto because it will look awkward. Would you say people should stop speculating that
I don't
Musalia
think it can work that way. I don't see Mudavadi deputizing Ruto. It will be seen for what it is. If Mudavadi goes to Ruto in whatever capacity, it will just be anger. People just see him for what he is. A sulking young man. Like I don't want to say a child, but he'll just be sulky. Anger, which is driving him. And I've told him, anger has no place in politics. If you are angry, don't show it. It shouldn't be seen to be driving you. You know it's the one driving you. Nobody should see it. You be tactful. But if he goes to Ruto, people just see is spoiling it for Raila.
Do you think it would be beneficial to Ruto's side if Musalia goes to that side, or will it be?
No. In fact, Raila would sweep Western clean. Clean all of it.
Why would you say that?
Because people see it for what it is. Yeah.
Just a man who is angry at Raila going to
Raila and Uhuru.
Would it cause Deputy President William Ruto a little bit of a headache, because right now it has to choose a deputy president from the Mount Kenya region if it needs the votes from there, and if Musalia goes, the position might not be good for him.
You see, Mudavadi will go to Ruto if he becomes running mate. He will be a liability, because the people now Uhuru will have a field day. In Central. Tell the Kikuyu now, you can see. This is the man you are talking about. So, what is your stake in this government?
You once said that you think that the Mount Kenya region are going to support someone that is going to bring them back in power later on. So would you say this is going to happen in this year's elections? The
biggest attraction Raila has to the people of the mountain, they can see this is a one-term president or something near that. And therefore, they support him knowing very well that's the shortest route to power, to get back to power. So if Mudavadi went there, the Kikuyus will be very annoyed with him. So Uhuru will have them. If Uhuru doesn't have them, that will create the necessary anger. The necessary anger for a Kikuyu presidential candidate to emerge. And that is why you must place people like Mwangi Wairia. And that's where Jimmy Wanjigi was timing situations like those. So for Deputy President William Ruto, the deputy choice from Mount Kenya is going to make him or destroy him. Mount Kenya must. It must be Mount Kenya. You try anything else, you lose it. Because, you see, every politician has a vote base that he starts with. Raila starts with Western Kenya, the Kisii, Luo, and Luya. Then he goes to ask cost. Then he picks a few here and there. Ruto starts with Central. That's where he starts with. That is his biggest block. You lose it, if you lose it, you are gone. Yeah, so he has no choice but to give them running mate. Finally, as we look at 2022 in focus, One Kenya Alliance, is it time for us to take them seriously? I saw an interview of Kalonzo Musyoka coming out and saying, 1% does not represent me, people know me, the opinion polls are wrong. Should we take them seriously as of now? Yes, we'll take them serious as potential supporters of Baba or Ruto. But not as presidential candidates. Let's wrap the conversation there. We do have these conversations again. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is a new year, and yes, so many resolutions, so many expectations, and I hope you do meet all of them. Continue staying with us. Simon Irungu, Big Question, Richard Mwenja, Business Glide, and I'm Jadiel Kabiro for Political Conversations. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.